Good morning guys from Tana here in East Finnmark. It's about, 8 o'clock or something in the morning? Yeah. And yesterday we had at the most 31 degrees. Today we woke up to, I don't know, 10, 12 maybe. So it changes faster, but it's okay. It's a good temperature to sleep in at least. We're gonna have our coffees and breakfast, and then we're starting heading towards Vardø and Humpback. I've been to Vardø once before, 4 years ago, on my trip to Norway. At that time it was 6 degrees and blowing like crazy. Today it's supposed to be a little bit cold, but at least the wind should be alright. So we're gonna visit Vardø and then do the trip out to Humpback, which everyone say is spectacular who's been there. And then we'll see. We'll take it from there. See what else Finnmark has to show us today. Let's get this day started and let's go see if Thomas is woken up so we can make us some good coffee. Getting spoiled. Properly spoiled. Where's the coffee?
It's getting there.
I mean, good morning is what I meant to say.
Good morning to you as well. How is our neighbor doing?
I don't know.
Når du heller opp der, du ser at han begynner å komme opp I tuten.
Det nok.
Ja.
Det perfekt.
Ja. Ja, rolig. Rolig now. Did you sleep well tonight?
I did.
This night?
After I put in the earplugs.
Yeah, you heard the guy in there. Jesus. Can you imagine the day he must have? Today?
I was thinking, what if he woke up that hangover in his tent and it was like yesterday, like we wake up at 6 and it's boiling.
Oh. Oh, the first famous sip. Cheers.
Hello.
Hello, what the hell? Yes, I'm here.
One of the first towns we pass through this day is Vadsø, which is the administrative center of Finnmark. With a population of about 6,000 people, Vadsø is known as the Kven capital of Norway. The Kvens are an ethnic minority descended from the Finnish farmers and fishermen who migrated here in the 18th and 19th century. Vadsø has seen its share of history. It was a key stopping point for Roald Amundsen during his North Pole expedition, and later during the autumn of 1944 the town was heavily bombed in an attempt to free it from the Germans. About half of its buildings were destroyed by the end of the war. Today, Vadsø is a modern city with a diverse business community including fishing and tourism. Leaving town, the wind picked up and the temperature dropped to a chilling 10 degrees that even our heated jacket could not fight off. This landscape is so open and barren, there is little to no shelter from the elements, and places to stop are few and far between. Just as we needed a break, we spotted a small roadside cafe. Inside, while warming up, we met a local fisherman, Fred Magne. It turned out he's part of a massive volunteer effort to fight off an invasive species that's threatening the life in the local rivers, the humpback salmon. The humpback salmon, or pink salmon, is native to the Pacific, but here in Norway it's a major threat. Unlike our native Atlantic salmon, humpbacks have a strict 2-year life cycle. In odd years, like this year 2025, they arrive in the hundreds of thousands. After spawning, every single one of them dies, and this creates a zombie fish effect where tens and thousands of rotting carcasses pollute the water and deplete oxygen levels, which can kill off the local salmon, trout and Arctic char. The fish ended up here because of a Soviet-era experiment. Starting in the 1950s, scientists moved millions of eggs from the Pacific to the Kola Peninsula in Russia, right on the border of Finnmark. And since then, they have spread rapidly west, overwhelming Norwegian rivers and even reaching as far as the UK and Iceland. Because humpbacks are aggressive and outcompete native species for spawning grounds, Norway has effectively declared war on them. This trap in the river is part of the front line. It's a massive steel fence that blocks all fish from moving upstream. Volunteers then manually sort the catch. It's a massive 24-hour operation, but for the locals, it's the only way to keep their native ecosystems from collapsing. On the way to our next stop, we passed through Kiberg, a small town with history going back to the 1500s. Stopping here, it was impossible to not notice all the seabirds. This is black-legged kittiwakes, and these man-made nesting sites are a local effort to provide a safe haven for the birds in an increasingly hostile environment. Although this noisy colony might look plentiful, it is actually a species on the brink of extinction. In recent years, the population has plummeted by as much as 80 to 90%. This is largely due to climate change and overfishing, which has decimated the primary food sources of small fish and plankton.
Our next stop is Kibergneset, also known as East Cape. Right across the fjord from Russia, this small lighthouse marks the easternmost point of mainland Norway. The city of Vardø, located a few kilometers further north, is actually the easternmost town in all of Western Europe, passing the longitudes of both St. Petersburg and Kiev.
Oh, sit.
Go. I just need some speed.
Beyond its geographical status, Kibergneset also holds a heavy military history. A coastal battery was built here by the Germans during the Second World War to secure the sea lanes towards Petsamo and Kirkenes, and to guard the mouth of Varangerbotn. The fort was heavily armed with the main battery of 3 massive 28cm ship cannons, as well as light cannons, anti-aircraft guns, anti-tank guns, and a whole lot more, making it one of the most powerful and active coastal fortifications in Norway.
Yeah, the entrance is here.
The fort saw its most intense actions in late October 1944. As German forces retreated from the Litza front, the battery engaged in a heavy fire to protect the final convoys.
I'm not sure if I want to go down there.
Oh, really?
On October 29th, as the retreat ended, the crew sabotaged the guns and abandoned the site. Walking amongst these bunkers today, in light of everything happening in the world right now, they feel like more than just a relic of the past. Unfortunately, they also serve as a stark, present reminder that history isn't always as far behind us as we'd like to believe.
Hva ser der borte da? Der er jo
En benk der borte, det kunne nesten ha campa.
Our last destination of today is located on the shore of the island Vardø. This is the memorial at Steilneset, designed to commemorate the 91 victims who lost their lives during the witch trials in Finnmark in the 17th century. Witch trials were a common phenomenon across all of Europe, but the intensity in Finnmark was among the highest on the continent relative to the small population. Perhaps it was easier for the fear of the devil to find fertile ground all the way up here in these isolated villages surrounded by harsh nature. Inside the building, each victim has a plaque detailing their alleged crimes. The records speak of poisoning food, cursing livestock, casting spells to sink fishing boats, meetings with Satan, and the list goes on. The 91 victims were both Norwegian and Sami. They were brought to Vardø for summary trials where the water test was often used. The accused was thrown into the sea, and if they floated, it was considered proof of their guilt, and they were sentenced to be burned at the stake, here on Steilneset. Reading all of this is a journey into the darkest depths of the human mind, knowing that most of these accusations didn't come from strangers, but from neighbors and even family. a reminder of the cruelty mankind has always been capable of when driven by fear and a paranoia for the unknown. A bit cold and tired, we eventually found a spot to pitch our tents by the side of the road, to relax and process the many impressions and other stuff from this day. The weather forecast promised better weather for the next day, so we decided to save the last stretch out to Humpback till then.